Hi everyone, thanks for watching today's video. It's about narcissists and depression. We know that narcissists build a persona they project to you, and it can be confusing to know what they're really thinking, how they're really feeling. So today we're going to look at the mind and character of someone with narcissistic personality disorder. I'm going to help you understand covert and overt, also the two specific kinds of narcissists. So Seth Rosenthal is a specialist at Yale University, and I'm just going to read a quote. He said, "Narcissists are prone to higher highs and lower lows. They have a constant need to have their greatness verified by the world around them. When reality catches up with them, they may react by becoming depressed." I've talked about the collapsed narcissist not too long ago in a video. This is it. Narcissistic parents have rejected the child's true self and in one way or another promoted their ego, whether it was negatively or positively. They will also reject their true self and find identity in their ego, what they are, not who they are. When someone rejects that, depression sets in because it's an attack on who they are. Life setbacks, like mistakes and failures, especially what society says, like losing our job, getting fired, and divorce, maybe some botched plans. They are devastating attacks on who they are to them. It's not easy for any of us, usually for those big ones there, but for them, it's devastating. Stephen Huprich is a president-elect of the International Society of the Study of Personality Disorders and also a professor at University of Detroit Mercy. He says that somebody he thought was going to trust him, somebody that a narcissist thought was going to trust him, now very much dislikes him and is unwilling to put up with him anymore. Not surprisingly, he finds himself a little more down and depressed. I've had a personal experience that marks this beautifully. I met a narcissist once and did many, many things for her. Lots of work on their home, paid for almost everything we did, and bought many, many gifts. Fed their ego. When I realized they were toxic, I couldn't take it anymore, I left. And I left nicely. Just gone. She accused me of many false allegations, tried ruining my life and my business by smearing. They were depressed, left with themselves. Rejecting a narcissist's ego forces them to look at their toxic shame, their true self. Just like loss, when we lose somebody, we're left with ourselves. This can cause situational depression alone, just in healthy people. So they lash out. They may isolate, maybe chemical abuse. That's what this person did. Alcoholic, drug addict. Life has many ups and downs, but a narcissist will feel vulnerable and weak during these times when they realize they're not immune to these things. This will always happen. It's just like when we compare ourselves to others, which causes low self-esteem because somebody's always better, faster, quicker, prettier, richer, smarter, all of it. This is why a narcissist's self-esteem vacillates so easily between confident and insecure. Confident is the covert. Confident would be the overt, insecure the covert. So there's not really typically just two different kinds. They tend to vacillate. There'll be one that's more one or the other. One will be more overtly most of the time. One will be more covert most of the time. But they vacillate. Both of them do. Back and forth. And this is why. A covert narcissist, their typical traits is about one very typical trait about a covert narcissist is posturing moral purity. They're overcompensating their toxic shame inside. They'll do this by accusing others of moral impurity. But Exposure means showing them reality that they're not. And it's rejecting them. You take a smear campaign. Someone who's depressed because you left them. The relationship failed. You rejected them. Doesn't matter how nice you do it. I mean, relationships end sometimes, yeah? We tell the truth. Tell them why. Their grandiosity, the more they become obsessed with grandiosity, the less empathy they have. And they'll counter it with grandiosity by accusing others of moral impurity. That's the smear campaign. You're a drug addict. You're a bad person. You abuse people. You're awful. You're evil. And doing this is the overt now. This is when they feel more grandiose. This is how. Overcompensating depression by being grandiose. But when they're exposed, they're immediately the covert, back to the covert, the victim, depressed. Okay? I don't need reasons, I don't need excuses, I don't need to rationalize, and I don't need to justify my behaviors because I'm not morally impure. But people who have smear campaigns need reasons and excuses and rationales and justifying because they're accusing someone of being morally impure, but what they're doing is morally impure, right? I mean, attacking someone in public, saying all these bad things about them, true or not, doesn't mean you have much integrity. You don't value respect, acceptance, compassion, forgiveness, love for fellow humans. Gone. They don't understand that. They don't see that. But once it's shown to them, they're hurting. Many of you know, have been following me over the years, that I had very toxic, malignant narcissist that was making hundreds of videos smearing me, calling me morally impure, while they sat high on their horse, grandiose, thinking they're so great, not realizing what you're doing is awful. I didn't react. I didn't sink to their level. I stayed morally pure. I kept going on and on and on for years until I exposed them and showed the world that they're doing this to all kinds of different people. They tried to keep it separate. No, I'm just doing it to you, and here's all the reasons. See, it's okay. It's okay. Well, what about doing it to everyone? What about doing it to 6, 7, 8, 9 different people? They freaked out when exposed, lashed out, came up more and more lies and fake people trying to ruin me. Didn't work. Boom. Resort back to your depression, your covertness. Not so grand. This is when narcissists have or show a little empathy. They lack empathy, but it's not gone. But the more grandiose they become, the less empathy they have for others. And they get on that high horse, right, and are validated by people saying, you're so great, you're so great. They have no empathy. They destroy and ruin people. But when they're knocked down and depressed, that's when they might show a little empathy now. A little bit nicer. What do you guys think about this? Let me know, please. And ask questions. Always answer them. But I always ask for this, and I really appreciate examples you guys have. I gave one, too. Can you guys give an example of how you've experienced this? I know all of you have. Let us know. It helps people watching these videos. People watch these videos because they're suffering, they're hurting, they're healing. They need to understand their experience and not internalize what toxic narcissistic people do to them. That it's about the toxic person, not the victim. And just some of your examples could help people relate to these and help heal guilt, shame, remorse. So I'd really appreciate it if you could. And again, like I said, ask me questions anytime. If you like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, give it a like. I'd appreciate that. And thank you. Always, guys, love yourself first, okay? Always. Thank you. Bye-bye.